Hi, my name is Amanda Steele. I am delighted to be here today. I appreciate the opportunity. I am a mother to a son that is currently in his 7th year of high school, getting ready to graduate from what is now Success University that Tempe Union has recently offered. We have seen this expansion strategy before by identifying groups that would supposedly benefit from vouchers. 10 years ago, individuals with disabilities were the pawn that the legislators used. I'm here to give you guys some things to ponder on today because as a parent of a child with special needs who has gone through the public education system, I had my son very young. As I grew, I kind of grew with him. And what I learned probably way later than I was able to even help him. However, what I learned is that ESA is a wonderful opportunity for a very different population. There are populations that it does work for, and there are populations that it does not. So I'm today going to focus on one population. I have a son with an intellectual disability. I'm going to focus on the intellectual disability population. Currently, we have had 10 years of ESA programs, and our employment rate for individuals with disabilities graduating from high school has still not expanded. Honestly, even in the public education system, we have so much work to do, but we can work on it if we have the funding to do so. I went to Tempe Union High School District 3 years ago and explained this is all the things that are lacking, because as I've grown, I've discovered what could possibly help and benefit the students that come behind my son. So I've created policy teams to work on policy to benefit that. That won't come to light if we dismantle public education. So 3 years ago, I went to Tempe Union High School District, and I told them, this is what you're lacking. You're lacking in curriculum, you're lacking in sexual education, and you're lacking in a transition program. Within 3 years, they have created a transition program that honestly is minimally adequate, but could be so much better if we could fund schools. So if we continue to dismantle and take from schools, you are going to continue to not offer opportunities for programs that are already existing to grow and expand and provide opportunities for our children to become competitively employed and members of society that are part of it. So when you send your child to school, what do you send your child to school to do? I personally sent my child to school to learn, to grow, become capable. About 5 years ago, he started going to employment transition conferences, and during those conferences, he came to me and said he wanted to work. 5 years later, he doesn't have those skills. That is a consistent problem across the board. Arizona has a developmental disability program called vocational rehabilitation that is currently sitting at a 90% failure rate. If we continue to take away the funding, that will continue to just deteriorate. We will never be able to get these individuals that are highly capable of working if given the opportunity, if given the proper funding and potential or supports to allow them to expand those capabilities. Now these voucher programs proponents are trying to use students of color as another group in need. As you just heard from these speakers, that is not what is best for these families. These communities have spoken, and the fact is that parents want to be served in their own public schools. That's where the legislature needs to put their attention. As a parent that didn't understand and wasn't educated for many, many years, I have a little bit of experience of what it's like to not have a community. So I want to know, if you expand vouchers to Title I schools, who is going to reach out to those community members that don't have community? Those families that depend on the buses to take their children to school, that probably never even have conversations because some of them can't even communicate with the school staff. Who is going to make sure those students have a school if there is no public education left? I'm going to give you a statistic of just the city of Tempe. The city of Tempe has 21 schools in it. 16 of those schools are Title I schools. The average income in Tempe is $54,000. That is double the income of what Arizona considers the poverty level. If those 16 schools have access to all those parents taking their students out of school, you will destroy that district. And every family that wants public education, that wants to see the benefit of it, that knows that there's programs that have potential. I'm a special needs parent. I'm helping to fix the potential for those programs, but we can't do it if it's not there. So you have to give us the opportunity. You have to give us the funds so that we can improve this. Because as a disability advocate, I want to make individuals with disabilities seen, heard, and respected. I want them to be given the opportunities through public education to become employable, to become part of society as contributing members.